Hi there, this is Mrs. C. I'm an ELL teacher at Florida Connections Academy. Today I'm going over the Unit 9 Represent and Interpret Data, Lesson 2 Collect and Represent Data Portfolio Assignment. For this assignment, you'll have a page to print out that you'll complete at home and turn into your teacher for a grade. Let's look at your lesson directions. Spilling Coins Portfolio. You will create tally charts and picture graphs about a situation of coins being spilled out of a cup. You will collect and organize data about the spilled coins. This is the worksheet that you'll click on and then print out. Let's look at your worksheet together. It says directions. Collect and organize data using tally charts and picture graphs. For this activity, you will need a cup and you will need 15 pennies. So I've got my cup and I've got 15 pennies inside of it. All right, that's what you're going to need for this assignment. The pennies that spilled. There were 15 pennies in a cup that tipped over, and all of the pennies spilled out. Some landed on heads and some landed on tails. So if you look at this picture, you can see this is heads and this is tails. The tally chart below shows the number of coins that landed on heads and the number that landed on tails. Create a picture graph to represent the data. So our tally chart has already been done for us. I can see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pennies landed on heads and 5, 6. 6 pennies landed on tails. Now we need to complete the picture graph. That means we're going to need to draw coins. Now coins are a little bit tricky. I'm just going to make circles to represent the coins. I know that 9 landed on heads, so I'm going to draw 9 coins here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 6 landed on tails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now my picture graph is complete. I've got my 9 pennies that landed on heads and my 6 pennies that landed on tails. Let's look at the next question. It says, which category had the most outcomes? Most means the biggest amount. So heads had 9, tails had 6. Which number is bigger? 9, right? So heads had the most outcomes. Number 2 says which category had the least outcomes. Least means the smallest. So since tails had 6 and that's smaller than 9, tails had the least outcomes. Here's the next page of your worksheet. Oh, let me go ahead and erase those. Let me erase those pennies from our pictograph. All right, now it says place 15 pennies in a cup. Shake up the cup and spill the pennies onto a flat surface. Fill in the tally chart below to show how many pennies landed on heads and how many pennies landed on tails. So this is where you'll need your cup and you'll need your 15 pennies. I'm going to spill mine out and see what happens. Remember, I need to look for the amount that landed on heads and the amount that landed on tails. So for my heads, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of my pennies landed on heads. So I need to fill in the number 10 right here with tally marks. So with tally marks, I'm going to draw one. Oh, that's a little bit too big. Let me get a smaller pencil. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I do a slash for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I do a slash for 10. So if 10 of my pennies are on heads, that means 5 of my pennies were on tails because I had 15 total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now that I've done my tally chart, I need to do the same thing I did on the first page, and I need to create a picture graph to represent the data too. So I'm drawing pictures of those coins. Now remember, these numbers might be different for you. When you spill out your pennies, you might have a different number of heads and a different number of tails. For mine, I'm going to put in 1. Oh, they're too big again. Let's make some smaller dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pennies were on heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pennies were on tails. So now I've got my tally chart finished and my picture graph finished. Now I just need to answer a couple questions. Number 1 says, how many pennies landed on heads? So you're going to write the number of pennies that landed on heads when you spilled yours out. When I spilled mine out, 10 landed on heads, so I'm going to put 10 right there. All right, the next one says, how many pennies landed on tails? For mine, 5 pennies landed on tails. Now we're looking at those two words again, most and least. What category had the most outcomes? For me, it was heads. What category had the least outcomes? Remember, that's the smallest. Tails. Then it says, how does your picture graph compare to the picture graph in the first activity? So let's go back and let's look at the first activity. There were 9 heads and 6 tails. In mine, I had 10 heads and 5 tails. So more pennies landed on heads. That's what happened in mine. All right. There were 15 coins in a cup that tipped over, and all of the coins spilled out. There were pennies, nickels, and dimes in the cup. The tally chart shows below the number of each coin that was in the cup. Create a picture graph to represent the data. So again, they've completed the tally chart for us. 4 pennies, 6 nickels, 5 dimes. I need to complete this picture graph down here. So that means I need to draw my coins again. All right, so our number of pennies, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's draw those. 1, oops, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then how many nickels? I see there were 6 nickels. So let's go ahead and draw those in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there were also dimes. Let's see, 5 dimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that picture graph is complete and we need to answer our questions. Let me go ahead and erase these so I can type again. What category had the most coins? Let's go back and look at that tally chart. What category had the most coins? Pennies, nickels, or dimes? You're going to write your answer right here. I can't tell you. Number 2 says, what category had the least coins? Pennies, nickels, or dimes? I can't tell you, but you're going to put your answer right here. All right, guys, I know you're going to figure that out super quickly because you are super smart and you've done a great job on this portfolio so far. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Good luck and goodbye.